Hello and welcome to my channel. If this is your first time here, my name is Millie and today I'm going to be showing you my single eyeshadow collection. Woo! Finally! I've been promising this video for, quite a few months at this point. But basically what keeps happening is I just keep getting more single eyeshadows and I keep wanting to wait until I have those. But let's be honest, this is an ever-growing collection, so I can just do an updated version of this video in the future. So this is going to be currently where my collection stands, and I do want to mention I do have a Terra Moons pre-order that will be on its way at the end of March, early April, of some of their new iridescent type of multichromes, as well as another Glam Shop order that is on its way. So those are, few more single eyeshadows that will be joining my single eyeshadow collection. But let's get right into it. There's quite a bit to get through. I will do some swatches here and there, but for the most part, we're just gonna be kind of going through what I have, and I'll count them up at the end. So first up, we have some Untitled Cosmetics single eyeshadows. They do have these in palettes as well, but these in particular are singles that I chose. So I did kind of try to separate these out, but it was definitely difficult. You can see some of these are brand new because I did recently get these. I've just been dipping into them as I play around with makeup. The first ones that joined my collection from Lethal were the more pastel shades, and I do have to say that the pastel shades, I do experience some issues sometimes. I do feel like they're just a little bit different type of formulation. I don't want to throw that around lightly because I know nothing about eyeshadow formulations, but they just feel a little bit different from like these kinds of shades that work really beautifully. I have not ran into any issues with any of the kind of regular types of shades of the mattes. I absolutely love these two, super deep. Let me know in the comments below if you would like to see a dedicated swatch video to these, because these are pretty much all their mattes except for like a couple of shades which are basically just light beige shades that I just felt like I didn't need in my collection. So I do have pretty much all of them, so I could do a swatch video if that would be helpful. There are definitely some shades here, like these two, that are pretty similar, and these two as well, so it might be nice to see them swatched out, so let me know. Next up, we have a palette full of Divina single eyeshadows. This is one palette out of two, I believe, and this one has some more newer shades. So we've got the Candy Cakes, I believe, and just some of the other shades. So like these, for example, what are these? Altair, and then Moontide? Is it Moontide? I don't know, I'm just blanking. Moonlit. I don't know why I said Moontide. Some of the new Multichromes, and then just really sparkly eyeshadows. So these might be a little fun to actually swatch. And then a bunch of mattes. I love how unique their mattes are. They're super fun. I definitely would like to get some more. This red shade has I think it's called Lithia. It's pretty much like completely hard pan, but it picks up fine on the brush. It just doesn't want to swatch. And then these two shades are really similar, but I digress. Let's swatch this shade. Ooh, so shiny. And that was Akia. And then what about this shade? This is Mystic Moon Pie. This one is the newest one. I don't think I've even used this one yet. Oh my god, it's so shiny. I did turn up the light a little bit. It's looking a little dark. So here's the second Divina empty palette full of singles. We have the Galaxy Dust Shifters, we have the Butterfly Collection, and then we have the Willy Wonka Exploders. So what are these? I can't remember what these are. The Boom Sour ones that are a little flakier. Why can't I remember? Are these the candy case? For some reason, I'm just completely blanking on all the names. But anyways, these are absolutely stunning. So let's just watch some for funsies. This is Nerds. Ooh. Such a beautiful shade. Definitely a little bit on the translucent side. And then one of my absolutely favorite Divina eyeshadows. This is Messier, which is from the Galaxy Dust Shifters. This one with blue eyeshadow, absolutely amazing. I feel like it looks very brown based on camera, but if you pair it with a blue eyeshadow, let me tell you. Next up pretty much are all of my black base multichromes in this palette. There's some missing because I did pick some out for my March multichrome madness, which I highly recommend checking out my intro to that. So I will link it down in the description box, but I basically picked out 31 multichromes, and I will use 1 multichrome a day for all of March. So that's why there's some empty spaces, but we have Touch of Glam down here. There's Sydney Grace. This one and this one and this one, I believe, are Shine by SD. This is a pressed, Notoriously Morbid shade that I pressed myself. And then this is all Terra Moons. We've got, I believe these are JD Glow, and then Baby Bat Beauty, and then these ones are Divina. So I feel like I've swatched these so many times, but why not some more, right? So let's swatch. This is such a beautiful multichrome shade for sure. It's gonna be hard to capture really the shift in this lighting, that's for sure. And then this one, Exosphere, which is a dupe to JD Glow's Seaweed, which I actually have pulled into my 31 days multi. Look at that. Look at that. Just amazing. I think we're gonna be able to see the shift better if it's like this. Maybe on an angle. I have better swatches and a dedicated video on these Aurorae flares, so check that video out if you're interested in these. I'm not sure if I should count this because this is the Melt Blueprint stack that I kept only the blue double pans and I put them into single pans, so I guess this counts. I'm not sure. Let me know what you think. But here is, I'm not gonna take them out. These are a little bit fragile because I try my best to press them. This is a really nice shimmer shade. Next up are my Tammy Tanuka pigments that I pressed, so I guess these would also be considered now single eyeshadows. Let me just swatch this one because this is one of my favorites. This is Pyromancer. Oh my god, absolutely stunning. This is not like a multichrome, but it does have a lot of dimension. I mean, just look at that. Absolutely gorgeous. I still feel like my lighting's a little dark. Let me just try to brighten it up. But this shade is just wow. It's basically like, it gives me like embers, like ember vibes, like embers on your lids. Next up are these Shine by SD. This is the Reserve collection. I did do a dedicated video on these. And I don't know if I love these personally. I know everybody raves about Shine by SD, but the shades that I have from them, including the black based multichromes, they're just super flaky, and I don't like flaky. Like, I don't want a lot of flaky. I'm okay with a flaky here and there, but for all of these to be super flaky, just not really my cup of tea. This is the Reserve number 7. Like, do you see like how it just picks up chunky? But it doesn't feel like chunky in like the I think it's the candy cakes from Divina. It doesn't feel like chunky like that. It feels like dry and chunky. I don't know how to explain it. They're also really fragile. So do you see how that picks up? And you have to like really make sure to rub it to smooth it out. Otherwise, it's gonna accentuate skin texture. Then we have some Adept mattes that I chose to fill up this. Then we have some Adept mattes that I chose to fill up this palette, and you could take this out. It's like a foam and just have more space, so eventually I can get more mattes to put in here. But I did do a video recently where I used this palette in conjunction with the Plain Jane, and I really enjoyed all of these mattes. This one was a little on the weaker side, but the deep mattes, love them. Next up is kind of just a bunch of stuff put together in this super fun Z palette. Ooh. I used to have my multichromes in here, but the multichromes outgrew the size of this palette pretty quickly. So we have kind of some mixed stuff in here. So these are all my depotted Menagerie Cosmetics eyeshadow palettes. So I'm not sure if I should count them as singles because they do sell them as singles, but I bought them in a palette. So I'm not sure if I'm going to count them. But technically now I'm using them as single eyeshadow pans. So maybe I should. I think at the end I'll kind of give like a without counting these and then with counting these. So this is a single, which is like, I think it's called Navy. It's from Natasha Denona. I'm not sure why. I just bought like one single from Natasha Denona, but here we are. And then this is from Lovelux Beauty, Cane Broken. I honestly haven't used it at all, pretty much. This one, these three are Cosette eyeshadows that I repressed because they were in square pans and they were super hard pressed. So these are really pigmented. And then these are my JD Glow singles that I've had for such a long time. I hate to admit it, but I've had them for a really long time, and I finally decided to put them in smaller pans thinking I would use them more, but that was a lie. But to this day, this is the absolutely best silver of my entire life. Like, just look at that. Look at that. Like, swatch for days. love this silver. I gotta do like a silver look. Next up we have some Terra Moons. This is also one palette out of 2 of my Terra Moons. This is a mixture though. So these are the Terra Moons New Neons and then the Pastels. This is a leftover JD Glow single, and then I believe, I'm not sure about this one actually. Yep, these are all, wait, what about this one? Why is Bernovich in here? That's random. Anywhoosies, so these are the Touch of Glam. I forget, they were like Vivid something. I can't remember. The Vivids, basically. And I honestly haven't used these that much, but they are super beautiful. They're a little bit on like the thicker side, like the way that they swatch, but they're really beautiful. I gotta use these more. And then we've got these Pastels. I did do a video on the neons, I believe. I don't think I've done a video. These are the messiest swatches. I promise, if you're new to my channel, I don't usually swatch like this. But that's really, really beautiful. That swatch really well. But I did pick up quite a bit. And then I love this blue. I don't know if it's like neon per se. It's really just a really gorgeous, vibrant blue. And then same with like this green. Like, I don't know if it's necessarily neon, but it is pretty bright. And I really like these. Terra Moons Part 2. There's some shades. There's 2 shades missing from this palette, which are in my March Multichrome Madness 31 picks. So we have some iridescent chameleons right here. I mean, oh, they're so beautiful. You can actually see it on screen. Like, these are so stunning. I think these are just duochromes, and then we have some other duochromes, and then this is that bundle of, I think they were multichromes. I think they renamed them because they were not really that multichromatic. This shade is probably one of my favorite shades of all time. This is Moontide. And this is just, oh my goodness. There's so much depth in this. It's definitely like a more of a duochrome, but it's got a lot of dimension and depth. And then the blue is also, oh my god, so beautiful, so pigmented. And then Phoenix, I believe, yep, I could spot that from up here. Probably one of the most beautiful iridescent multichromes. And this one is obviously layered. You can see I have a little bit of staining there. But let's just put that over my knuckle so you can like really see. Oh my god, look at that. Oh, it's magical. You could literally turn yourself into like a Tin Man with this shade. It's so beautiful. These are my Menagerie Cosmetics stacks that I depotted, which let me tell you, it took forever and it was really tiring. But here they are. I thought it would help me use them more, but I honestly don't really. I do really enjoy Melt's formulations of these kind of deeper shades though. That's why I wanted to keep them. And then these are the She's in Parties. What is it called? Was it She's in Parties? The newly released palette version of these. So I do have these. I did repress this one because it was extreme hard pan. I don't know, it's just kind of dull now. I'm actually thinking of really decluttering all of these. Yeah, you can see it like didn't even want to swatch. This is probably my most favorite neon eyeshadow of all time, neon yellow. Really, really beautiful. So while we're looking at big pans, we have a random blush shade from Sydney Grace, and it's super, super pale, so I don't really reach for it. These are some singles from Sugar Pill that I got a long time ago. Honestly, wasn't really impressed with the shade Velocity. I do really like the white shade and then these two, but overall, like, not the biggest fan. I should really reach for them more, but they're just like in its own kind of like messy palette, you know, and it just kind of deters me from wanting to open it. And then here are more JD Glow eyeshadows. So the big pans basically separated into 2. There's a random glitter here from, I believe this is from Dear Katie Brown. We have Dawn Eyes. I finally pressed some. These were like the full sizes, so that's why I pressed them, because otherwise the sample sizes, there's no use in trying to press those. And then these are JD Glow Neon pressed eyeshadows. If anybody remembers when they had these, it's been a while, and they're actually really, really nice. I really like these. That's why I still have them. So you can see a little bit on the fragile side. This one broke. I repressed, but I should probably repress this one. But let me just swatch these for you because they're actually really, really stunning. Like, that's neon. That is exactly like what a neon should be. This blue, actually, let's compare it. See, that's more of a neon than the one from Terra Moons, I would say. And then, like, even this purple is super vivid. I really wish they would bring these back because I did really enjoy the formula as well. Next up, again, I'm gonna kind of count them, and then I'll show you the final number without these counted in as well. These are Menagerie Cosmetics eyeshadows that I took apart from palettes, so they're technically like weren't bought as singles, but they are singles now. I really love these. I think there's some really unique tones between like this shade. My finger is so dirty. Look at that. It's so cool. I have no more space. I don't know why I'm swatching this way. I never swatch like this. This purple shade, I'm not going to even try. These are square pans. It's not going to be easy to try to flip these over. I just love these tones. Even this one, it's like a lighter version of the one I just swatched. Okay, this is not really swatching well. Just disregard that. I really love all the shades they have. Next up is a bunch of stuff put together, and this is a Revolution, Makeup Revolution Pro empty. I like that it has a window because I hate palettes without windows. I want to see exactly what I'm reaching for right away. I don't have to want to open up a bunch of them. But this one's, it's pretty, can you hear that? It's really cheap. It's not really the greatest. I would not recommend. They were really cheap, but that's why. So that's probably why. So this is a mixture of some of my new Pastel Rose UK shades. Then we have some Luxie. And actually, I believe the rest of this is Luxie. Yep. So we have Pastel Rose here, and then all of the rest of this is Luxie. I do have a Luxie order on the way. I almost just forgot. I did end up caving and ordering their new collection that launched after, you know, they haven't posted since November, but here I am. I'm still ordering from them. And these are very much like top-alike. I feel like they don't swatch that great, but they look absolutely stunning layered on top of matte eyeshadows. Just absolutely love them. This is a really pretty, just kind of, this actually reminds me of Sunbeam from Cleona, but probably not multichrome. Yeah, it's not really swatching nicely. Next up are some Bernovich eyeshadows. There's no way to not make these messy because they're kind of flaky, but oh my gosh, these are so beautiful. I do have a video up with these, and I use the mattes and pair them with some of the shimmers. I definitely want to do more videos because these are just amazing, especially this shade. This is X21. It's so interesting. It's like a cool tone purple with a green, but I don't even know. It's really interesting. I'm gonna build that up for you, but look at that. It's so beautiful. Just super sparkly. The mattes really perform really well, so I hope that they come out with a lot more mattes, more colorful mattes. Next up are actual Makeup Geek eyeshadows in the empty magnetic palette from Makeup Geek, and this is their kind of vivid shades. I hate that these don't fit, but at least it's kind of easy. It makes it a little bit easier to pop them out. For some reason, I can't remember if there was a shade here or not, and if I just can't find it or what. I have no idea where it could possibly have gone. But anyway, so I really like this because I like that it's laid out easily, so I can just kind of like dip across from these. I don't have to be like looking for a variety of shades. Basically, I don't like using a lot of different shades from different brands and then trying to remember what I use. So I kind of like being able to use all the mattes here and then a shimmer from somewhere else, for example, especially because as you saw, I have a lot of shimmers. So that's why I got this, and I do want to eventually get the neutral palette just so that I can have pretty much all the neutrals and I can just pair them and cross them kind of over and dip into each one. I think it'll be good to have. But formulation wise, I don't think these are the absolute best. I don't think these are my favorite matte eyeshadows by any means. I do find these to be a little bit finicky. Mostly really depends on the type of eyeshadow primer you're using with them. So anything tacky, these will not want to budge. Like these will stick down and they will not want to blend. They definitely need something that already is kind of dries down, and so nothing like the P. Louise base, for example. So I find them a little bit finicky, but I still love this idea so much that I'm willing to keep them and just make sure I know what primer to use with these. And so here are my Glam Shop eyeshadows, and I already know with the new ones coming in, I'm probably gonna run out of space. But I kind of went a little crazy with my first order because I was like, listen, if I'm gonna pay international shipping, I might as well just get as much as I want so that I don't have to keep paying it. But anyways, these are the hollow eyeshadows. Of course, I'm gonna swatch the hollow. Oh, yes. Yes. It's so cool. I'm going to swatch it on my palm because I want to see holographic eyeshadows everywhere for the rest of my life. Let me shine the flashlight so you can see the hollow better. It definitely helps a lot to have some kind of a direct lighting. And then all of these other beautiful sparkly shades. This shade in particular is called Teal. And it's so interesting. It's like a purple to a green duochrome. It's pretty shifty and it's really, really unique. And if you want to see all the swatches of these, then make sure to check out my video. I will link down all the possible videos, or I will put them up in the corner if you're interested in watching them in the cards. And then all the mattes, I haven't fully tried out all the mattes, but so far I like them. I don't love them yet, but I do need to try them out some more. All right, we are almost done. Here are some of my Cleona Multichromes. These are the stained glass collection. So we have I have all of the jeweled multichromes and then all the pastel multichromes, but I don't have all of the other ones. So I don't have all of the like glitter type and then the deeper iridescent. And then I do have all of these, but I did take some out because I have them pulled into my March Multichrome Madness palette. But yeah, I just love these. Let's see, what should I swatch? There's honestly so many things to swatch. Let's swatch this one because it's green and I love green. I'm out of space. And that's embroidery. And then one of my other favorites is this one. I'm gonna have to look what it's called. Look at that, it's so shiny. And this one is called Crown Jewel. So stunning. And then of course, I'm not sure which one this is, but the shiniest of the shiny. Look at that. Oh my god. Okay, let me try to swatch them. I know somebody made a comment a while ago that maybe they swatch so well. Maybe the reason they swatch so well is because it's on my wrist, but they're still really shiny even on further down my arm. I mean, they're just clearly packed with a lot of multichrome pigment. You can really see the shift here. It's really, really stunning. Oh my god, like this is like liquid multichrome kind of effect on my finger. Cleona part 2, we have 2 regular shades. I know, who am I? Literally have only 2. Eventually, hopefully I'll get more. I can't exactly remember. I think these are just like the iridescent, the very first ones they released. And then these ones are iridescent type 2, glitter iridescent. Or no, these are iridescent type 2, and then I forget which ones these are. But these are just so, so cool. And if you could see like the iridescence, it's so stunning. So let's just swatch this one, for example. Again, I don't know what I'm swatching with this hand. I am out of room. Picked up a little bit too much, but look at that shine. So beautiful. Some of these are a little bit on the flaky side. Let me actually swatch it. This is just one of the originals. So see, this one's just a little bit smoother. And it kind of just gives that sheen, which I really like. It doesn't like accentuate. It just gives really smooth effect. So my memory card was full. I didn't even realize I was filming for that long. Here's another shade. Look at that shine. This one is also smoother. This one looks a little bit, no, not really, like Phoenix. No, Phoenix has got this really gorgeous, like grayish, peachy sheen. It's just so unique. So a couple of shades are missing because they're in my other palette as well. So almost finished. Here's the empty palette from Sydney Grace. I actually designed this palette, so it's really cool to see it in real life. And here we have all my Sydney Grace eyeshadows. And we have a lot of shimmers and then a lot of mattes. I really, really love both from them. So that's why I have quite a bit. Let's just swatch some. I do also have some really older shades, which they don't have anymore because I actually originally bought from Sydney Grace back when they were still Feather River Body on Etsy. They were probably one of my first indie brands that I ever ordered from. I had a great experience and kept ordering more. So this is Hang Tan. And this is just such a cool shade. And then this lime green, of course, is probably one of the most vibrant lime green shimmers ever. And then this shade, which is Lost Princess, they do still have. This is just, I mean, this metallic. Also, this gives me actually Pyromancer vibes, but this is more red. Pyromancer is definitely more like orangey, burnt orangey. So you can see it's got a sheen to it. And then of course they also have really interesting assortment of different tones of mattes, which is why look at that pigmentation. And then this one, I just love their deep mattes. Oh, this one's not swatching well. I spoke too soon, but swatching doesn't always mean everything, you know. But I just love that. It's just like super deep foresty green and then like a navy blue. Then we have like a sky blue. Just such pretty shades. Lastly, we have my book of shades, which I actually regret getting this, to be honest, because it's just such a pain to have in the store. It's huge and it's really heavy. Cute idea, but like not really great in execution. So this is the Depotted Paint Pro palette from Glamlite. I actually have a video of it depotting it. So I just put these shades all in here because I didn't have any other empty palettes to put them in. So that's why they're in here, but this one broke, unfortunately. The shimmers are really gorgeous, especially this one. Oh, it's so beautiful. I don't have space. It's gonna go on my thumb. Look at that shine. That's like Terra Moons, basically. There's nothing in the center, and then on the last one, I have just kind of like a huge mixture. These two are Terra Moons. This is Maduro Makeup Labs. I do have a video up with these multichromes. And then these are actually depotted shades from the Nomad Tokyo palette because I hated the mattes in there. Absolutely couldn't stand them, but the shimmers are really, really nice. So that's why they're in there. These are Enchanted Luster. I've had these for quite a while. They're super flaky, so I haven't really used them much because I don't prefer that. And then all of these shades were loose, and I pressed them. These are from Chaos Makeup. They have some really beautiful loose pigments. So like, for example, this one is so, so, so beautiful. Let me actually swatch it. Let me swatch it with a finger that I can actually swatch with. So look at that. It's so beautiful. Super shiny. And then some of these other shades, so we have some greens and stuff. So I pressed those so that they would be easier to use. Last up is the March Multichrome Madness palette that I'm using to store all the multichromes that I chose. I did also pick out a bunch of kind of cream and jelly and etc. kind of multichromes. So these are obviously just the pressed shades for March Multichrome Madness. But I'm really excited for this series. It is already day 3 as I'm filming this. And it's just been really fun. I love seeing you guys participate and tag me and hashtagging Multichrome Madness. I just love seeing the kind of multichromes you own and that you use and how you pair them with matte. So I really encourage you to participate if you love multichromes or you want to get some more use out of the multichromes you have. But anyways, so we have Touch of Glam, Shady Glow, and Baby Bad Beauty. We have one of these is, I believe this one is Dawn Eyes, Tammy, Tanuka, Shine by SD. These are all Terra Moons. These are all Divina. And then obviously these are all Cleona because I have just so many, as you saw, that it makes more sense. Wow, I just left nice, beautiful fingerprint trail. So it makes more sense to have a bunch of them in here. I could also do a whole like month of just Divina shadows pretty much. I have so many of those. Same with Terra Moons. But yeah, so these are the ones I'm working with, and so that's why they're not in their special designated spots. And so those are all my single eyeshadows in my collection. Obviously, you know, I have, you know, some more coming in. By some, I mean like probably at least 20. But just know this is where my collection is right now in this point in time, and I will put up the total number of single eyeshadows I own up on the screen, and I will show you like counting in the Menagerie palettes and then not counting them in. I'm probably not going to count in the Pink Pro palette since that is a palette, but I can also add that in depending on editing Millie and how lazy she is or not. Let me know in the comments below if there's anything that surprised you in my single eyeshadow collection. I would love to hear your thoughts. And so that's everything for this video. If you enjoyed it, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. If you're new to my channel, I would love it if you subscribe. There's so much indie makeup, shiny, shifty, and sparkly eyeshadows on my channel. As you could see in this video, you don't want to miss out, so thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you next time.